10-3. You're live on Talksport. Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hi there.
That's Tommy Boyds, intellectual pygmy, isn't he?
Yes, I know, but what can we do?
Well, he sits there and just agrees with everything when people are talking complete twaddle. And then he gets someone in there who passed an opinion like about 10 minutes ago. And he jumps up and down on the guy's head because he hasn't done anything in life. And then when he's asked what he's done in life himself, absolutely zip, except run a radio show. He's got nothing to say for himself.
Well, actually, to be fair to Tommy, he has achieved a great deal.
Like what?
Well, he's a very well-travelled person and a very influential person who has often been called in by well-known and influential people to impart his wisdom.
Well, that's a fairly sweeping generalisation. I mean, talk about something specific.
Well, he was asked in by the Prime Minister, by Prince Charles, to give his views on the inner city riots back in the early 80s.
Well, why didn't he tell the guy that then when he was having a go at him?
Well, Tommy's very modest.
Modest?
Very modest.
Well, I mean, there's modesty and there's just not backing up your argument, isn't there? I mean, if he's done all these things, when he's having a go at a guy for doing nothing, then he should say, well, look, here's an example of what I've done.
Well, to be fair, he was having a go at the chap who had done nothing because the chap wanted to knock other people who were at least trying to do something.
But that's exactly what Tommy Boyd does, knocks other people. You sit and listen to him, there's just no content to the show at all. It's just...
Well, that's what people seem to want.
Well, I mean, the people he has ringing in, even on sport, they've just got nothing to say. They sit there, I mean, some of the stuff I've been listening to tonight, it's just so dull. The only reason I'm listening to it is because I'm in an area where I can't pick up Edwina Curry. And it's just dreadful. I've got a long journey, and I'd rather have silence than listen to it, quite honestly. It really is a lousy show. It obviously caters to a certain audience. But, I mean, okay, so if Tommy
hasn't got a clue, this geezer.
Intelligent guy, he's obviously dumbing himself down to cater to a fairly low-grade audience. But I tell you, it really is a boring show.
Well, at least most of the people who ring in are aware of the show's format, unlike yourself, for example. I mean, to be quite honest with you, and I hope this doesn't come across as being rude, in as much as you don't understand the most basic element of the show, you're about the dumbest person who's phoned in tonight.
What don't I understand about the show, then?
Well, the fact that all calls go to air unscreened and live.
Yeah.
Which means that you are, in fact, on the air and you're talking to Tommy Boyd now, which is what everybody else is able to grasp. Except a plonker like you. I mean, do you not know what unscreened and live means?
I've only had your show on about 15 minutes.
Well, how are you able to judge a show on 15 minutes then?
Because I've had 15 minutes of tosh.
Do you realise what a plonker you sounded?
Well, I probably did. I'm not really that bothered.
Yeah, you are. Your motive for calling was because you wanted to feel superior.
No, it wasn't. I actually wanted to criticise the show. I didn't realise...
No, you didn't want to criticise the show. To be precise, you wanted to condemn.
I've just criticised the show.
No, the word criticism is not necessarily a condemnation. It's providing a critique. And you wanted to condemn.
I wanted to condemn?
Yes, you wanted to condemn other people.
No, I wanted to condemn Tommy Boyd.
Well, I am Tommy Boyd, so can you not get your... How many times am I going to have to explain that to you?
Explain what? That you are Tommy Boyd. I'm well aware that you're Tommy Boyd now.
Well, can you not talk about me in the third person? Because I'm quite comfortable about doing that, but it's usually only boxers who do that.
Okay, I wanted to criticise you or condemn you. You can put it whichever way you want. On the
basis of 15 minutes listening. Can I tell you, it takes 6 weeks of listening to this show before you understand it.
Well, there's not much chance of me listening to it for 6 weeks. If I've got to listen to 6 weeks of that...
Well, you should try. You should give yourself a chance, because you might just discover that it is, in fact, the most salutary experience in British broadcasting.
Salutary?
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Explain that to you?
Yeah.
No, you keep listening. If you don't, okay, dismal experience. And you might.
Do you see yourself as some kind of a messiah type figure then, do you?
No, everybody else does. And,
Your head's getting big now.
and so will you.
Well, my head will get big by listening to you.
No, you will report it a baptismal experience.
A baptismal experience, that means I'll get wet. Is that right?
If that's what you think a baptism is, getting wet, it just goes to show you have been listening to low-grade broadcasting for too long.
A baptism is actually a religious experience, isn't it? It's a religious
Correct.
ceremony.
Absolutely correct. Well done.
It's carried out usually by somebody who's ordained to carry out that ministry.
Now, you're telling everybody who's listening to this stuff we already know. Welcome to the club. But can you catch up? Can you catch up? You've got a lot of catch. You've got
Are you claiming that you're some kind of ordained minister then?
No,
is that what you're doing?
Everybody else does.
Everybody else thinks you're God, do they?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, everybody thinks you're a representative of God then.
No, I wouldn't say that either.
Then what are you saying?
Well, why didn't you ask me that in the first place? I really am bored with people who tell me what it is that I'm thinking or saying. I'm much more interested in people...
I'm asking you what you're saying. I'm not telling you what you're saying. I'm asking you what you're saying. Yes. Are you saying that you are some kind of religious figure?
No, just going back to what you were doing earlier.
No, don't avoid the question.
No, I'm not avoiding the question. I'm making the point that you prefer to pigeonhole other people with your own views of who they are and what they're about, rather than beginning a relationship by asking them about themselves.
Okay, you have a bit of a problem with other people's views, don't you?
Yeah, you see, you're doing it again. They say you're doing it again.
No, I'm not.
You're doing it again. Yes, you are. You're telling other people who they are. You're telling other people what they're like. And I'm here to tell you that you need to change in that alone. And we've only been speaking for 5 minutes. How many more slugs are there hiding under the rock?
Okay, that's a question then. Do you have a problem with other people's opinions not being the same as yours?
I don't think it's a very good question. Do you want to... It's not. No, what do you mean by... No. Can I just interrupt a second? To get this question right, can you rephrase problem? What does that mean?
Do you object to other people having opinions that don't match yours?
Do you have opinions?
I have lots of opinions, yeah.
I bet you do, Cocker. Now, what makes you think you have the right to any of your opinions? Explain your criteria by which...
Why do I have a right to an opinion?
Yes. What makes you think you have the right to an opinion on anything?
On anything at all?
Yes.
Well, because I'm a human being, I've got a certain amount of experience of life, same as you, and life forms our opinions. And therefore, if you live... Have you ever bothered to sit down and work out how you're justified to have an opinion in anything? Yes, I have. And well, go ahead then. Let's have your criteria. My criteria for having an opinion? Yes. Well, to start with, I'd like to find a human being who doesn't have an opinion on something. That's not an answer to my question. Well, it's impossible not to have an opinion, isn't it? Unless you've got completely... That's a very poor reason for having an opinion. It's like saying it's a piss reason for having 2 legs. It's because you're born with them. No, and we don't do metaphors either. What people who use metaphors are having trouble expressing themselves clearly. Okay, I'll express myself clearly. If you have any form of intellect at all, and you might well consider mine to be fairly low, and that may be a fair comment, but if you have any form of intellect at all, you will inevitably form an opinion on the things that you see in life. And as soon as you do, my friend, reject it. Why? Are you saying that you have no opinions? You reject all your opinions? That's absolutely right. I don't have a single opinion. I refer you to Socrates. I don't have a single opinion about anything. But what I do retain the right to do is to question people who are thick with opinions, such as yourself. Sorry? Who are thick with opinions. Thick or sick, did you say? Thick. Thick? Thick. What does that mean, thick with opinions? Full of them. Well, you can't be without opinion. Everybody who rings in your show's got an opinion about something. That's right. That's why I have a go at them, like I'm having a go at you. Yep.
On the hour updates from the Sky News Centre.
Experiences. Are you still there, mister?
Yeah.
You are, aren't you? Are you listening to this?
Yeah, I thought you didn't have any opinions. You just passed 2. No,
I haven't.
Yes, you have. You just passed your opinion on whether that bloke should take A-levels or not.
No, that's not an opinion.
Was it not? What was that then? Wisdom
fact.
From...
No, it was fact.
Fact?
Yes. You see, you've got... Just be quiet and listen. This is my show.
I am listening to you.
I have an opinion, all right?
Oh, you've got one, have you? Come on then.
Which is a fact.
Yeah?
Because I have a criteria which enables me to determine whether my opinion is worth voicing or not.
And what's that criteria? Enlighten me.
I will. Are you listening carefully?
Very.
You sounded a little bit sarcastic then.
No, sarcasm's the lowest form of humour, Tommy, you know that.
I'll tell you what, that's not a very original thing to say, and we don't like cliches on this programme.
It wasn't a cliche, it was a quote.
Well, you got it wrong in any case.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not enjoying talking to you. You're not really very good at talking.
That's okay. Well, you're just going to pass your opinion on me. No, you're going to give me your criteria.
Yes.
Of what makes opinion valid. Well, come on then.
No, not valid. Much more important than that.
A fact.
No, more important than that.
Well, what's more? Come on then, enlighten me. I'm waiting.
I will do. Before you express an opinion,
Yeah.
you should research the field.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Not many people research many fields at all.
That's true.
I bet you don't research any fields at all.
I think I probably do.
I bet you've got more opinions than fields of research.
Well, that's inevitable. That
Not inevitable. I refer you to Socrates. Not inevitable. Nothing is inevitable within your own mind. Nothing is inevitable within your own mind. If you can't control your own mind, you're an intellectual spastic.
Well, that's where we came in, and that's what I thought. That's what I think you are.
That's just an insult. I'm pointing out to you that if you say that forming an opinion is inevitable, you're not in control of your own thinking process, are you?
So how?
Now I am.
How do you define researching a subject? Because
It doesn't. Shall I tell you why it doesn't require definition?
Why not?
Because you didn't ask for the definition straight away. You merely responded, "Yes, I have. No, I haven't."
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why.
So, in other words, you have your own definition of researching a field, and that's adequate for me. Okay.
I think researching a field involves experiencing it. So if you experience something in life, I think you can have a valid opinion about it.
Thank you for your judgment. That will do for me.
That's fine. Good night, arsehole.
I haven't finished with my view on whether or not you're entitled to your opinion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd have cut that out with a delay. I know it's got a delay on what I was listening to. Sorry
Yeah,
about
you can call me an arsehole. It doesn't bother me.
No, I didn't mean that to go on there. I apologise for that.
I don't care if you demand it or not. What's wrong with calling somebody an arsehole?
That's true. You called me something earlier on, but I can't remember what it was now.
Plonker.
Plonker. No, you didn't use that word. It was something else. Something much more erudite than that, but I can't remember exactly what it was. It was quite good anyway.
Yeah, I'm erudite, all right, pal. Now, this is what you should do before you decide to express an opinion.
Yeah.
You should first of all research the field thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, go on, sorry.
All right. What's most important of all, if you believe you have begun to form an opinion, and this is the crucial bit, and this is my own determination.
Yeah.
All right? But I highly recommend it to you.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it to you. You should be... Yeah, you should be as certain as you can be that expressing that opinion is likely to do more good than bad. Simple as that. And if you aren't certain of that, then keep it to yourself. And those criteria have been voiced repeatedly on this show.
So are you saying that nobody's allowed to come on your show?
No. Can I just stop you there? I am saying what I say. No paraphrasing of what I say should reach with my approval. Don't tell me what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it.
I said, are you saying?
No, I'm never.
I
will never be saying what you suggest that you think I'm saying. You're not capable.
You to clarify.
I don't need to clarify. Only maybe for you, but I'm not that bothered about you.
You really think that everybody listening to your show at the moment has the faintest idea what you're talking about?
Could you say that again? I didn't understand what you said.
I said, do you imagine that the people listening to your show have the faintest idea what you were talking about just then?
Oh, yes.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
was going to ask you just a simple question, like the one I asked you earlier when you started to get on about the religious experience, but you didn't answer that. You won't answer any questions. You won't answer anything that might expose you for what you are.
I'm going to have to let you go because you're not actually very good at this. You haven't been listening long enough.
You don't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Your question. You just resort to abuse. If anybody questions you in detail, you resort to abuse. That's fair enough.
I don't think your questions are very good.
I asked you earlier to answer a straight question. You simply avoided it. You made a
No,
statement.
it wasn't a very good question. Ask me. Try again. See if you can ask a decent question.
I've asked you 3 questions.
They weren't very good.
So, in your opinion, if a
You
question's
said
not
to
very
me,
good, you have to answer it.
I bet you've forgotten what your questions were.
Yeah, I haven't.
Well, what were they then?
Well, one of them was after you suggested that I would experience a baptism, I said, did you consider yourself to be some kind of religious figure? You didn't answer that. You just avoided it.
No, I didn't. I said, yes, I do.
You do consider yourself to be some kind of religious figure?
As I said when you asked me the question the first time round, yes.
Oh, I'd like to hear the tape, because I think you just avoided it. But no, okay, if you said yes, then you said yes. That's
Yes, I
fair
did,
enough.
yes, I did. I did say that I'm not God, but I am nothing more or less than a religious figure.
To who? In your own mind or in other people's minds? Are you some kind of a David Icke type figure?
I presume you haven't read much of David Icke's work.
Well, I haven't read any of David Icke's work. But
Well, then, in that case, then what makes you think you're entitled to have an opinion about him?
I don't have an opinion about him. I said, are you...
And where does he fit in your argument?
Well, do you consider yourself to be...
You've got
some kind
opinions
of-
about absolutely everybody, haven't you,
I'm
pal?
asking you a question. If you let
And
me
I don't
finish,
think
you can
any of them are
answer it or
terribly nice. I think you're a little bit unpleasant.
not. A little bit unpleasant.
Yes.
I rang up because I think you're a lot unpleasant.
Well, you're wrong.
And you're wrong about me.
Prove it.
I don't have to, not to you.
Well, in that case, then, why bother to express that you're a pleasant chap?
Why, you bothered to express it earlier. I was simply responding. I was being equally as
Yeah,
arrogant as you are.
that's poor. I'm very bored of this now.
I was being deliberately arrogant like you.
Oh, I've got a lot to be arrogant about. Have you?
No, I don't actually.
No, you haven't.
I only,
You just are arrogant, even though you've got nothing to be arrogant about. I am arrogant about things that I have every right to be arrogant about. Where are you driving to?
Well, I think you're an arrogant pont.
Where are you driving to?
Where am I driving to?
Yeah.
East Midlands Airport.
What for?
I work there.
Doing what?
I'm an airline pilot. Now, should I tell you something else?
And you didn't know that you were on the radio? Jesus Christ, man! Who's gonna fly with you?
Oh, don't be an abusive ass.
Are you seriously trying to tell us that you're the kind of guy that we trust our lives with on the tarmac?
Well, now you're resorting to cheap abuse, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm asking the question. You phoned this radio programme fully aware that that calls go to air unscreened,
Did you ask
and then you started talking to me as though I was somebody else.
Right.
You must have had the radio on in your Mondeo, and yet you couldn't work out that you were on the radio. You couldn't work out that you were on the radio, and yet you're going to go off tonight and fly 30 poor lost souls above the clouds. It's terrifying. It's terrifying, pal. I wouldn't trust you on a bicycle. You're mixed up,
You're
angry, upset,
I'm
stressed.
angry and upset. You should listen to
You're
yourself.
very,
mate.
very dangerous.
You should play the tape back and listen to yourself if you think I'm angry and upset.
I'm not that kind of a broadcaster. I agree they exist.
You almost flipped your lid then, didn't you?
Uh,
You're apoplectic. is
No,
the word, I
I'm
think.
just trying to raise the entertainment value of the conversation.
If it's so bloody boring, how come you've been carrying it on for 10 minutes?
Well, because I'm hoping to lure you into what I do.
Into what?
Into what I do.
Explain that. You're hoping to lure me into what you do.
Yes.
Explain.
Well, help people help people like you shed their baggage.
Shed my baggage.
Yes.
Emotional or other?
Everything.
Everything?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, all of us.
So that's not what I'm doing now, shedding my baggage.
No, I said I was hoping to lure you into it.
Into shedding my baggage.
Some of it. Bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
It is, isn't it? But I'm
Actually-
getting paid for it, you're not.
Tell you the truth, when I rang you up, I'd only had it on for about 5 minutes, and you hadn't actually said it goes like that, I don't think.
Now, you
But
see,
yeah,
now can I just interrupt you a little bit?
it does-
Can I just interrupt you a little bit?
when I
You-
rang
can I
up-
just interrupt you
Yeah,
a
go on.
second here?
Yeah.
Your story's changing,
Come on then.
isn't it?
Well, I told you at the beginning I'd only just started listening to your show.
No,
and yet-
but what was the time what was the duration that you suggested you'd been listening to the show when
I
you
don't.
expressed it before? Can you remember?
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. You're a liar now.
No, I can't remember what I said.
Yes, you can. If you can't remember, you've got a bit of a problem here.
Oh, don't be so stupid.
I'm not being
Remember-
stupid. You remember perfectly well what you said, and you've just contradicted yourself. And the
Well,
reason you
what
contradicted
time did
yourself
I
was
say to
because
start with it?
you know
What time
perfectly.
did I say to start with it?
No,
if
you remember
so well?
perfectly
No, I
well.
don't remember. Enlighten me.
No, you do, because you said it 3 times.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, what was it then?
You know how long you said you'd been listening to the show before you called.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we all do. Everybody, everybody listening to this knows that you're now lying.
Well, I don't remember.
Yes,
how
you
long-
do. Yes,
Look,
you do.
Hang on a minute. Just now, you got very irate because you said I was trying to tell you what you think. Now, you're trying to tell me what I know and what I don't know.
Yes, I am.
Okay? Now,
Because
so
I
don't
know
do
you,
it.
I understand you, I am
No,
a
you
student
don't.
of human nature, and you're very angry about something. There's somebody or something in your life that's upsetting you, and you're trying to take it out on somebody else.
No, I'm not. I rang up to pass an opinion on your...
You're arsey.
I'm arsey, and
Yes.
you're not.
You're an arsey man.
And you're not.
I'm arsey with you, yes. Because you're an arsey man. And you're used to getting your way. And
No,
I
I'm
shouldn't
not.
be, yes you are. I shouldn't be at all surprised that you treat plenty of people like you've tried to treat me, only you haven't managed to do it, pal.
I didn't even realise I was talking to you.
I think you need to go away and have a good long look at how you are with people.
I think you should...
And I think you know what I'm talking about. We can all sense it in you.
Sense what? My anger. My inner anger.
No, the fact that you're a bully.
A bully?
Yes.
That's a good one.
It's true, isn't it?
At least I don't bully people on air on a regular basis.
I bully you,
Yeah, exactly. You bully
and
people
I've
like a
bullied
this
you
guy.
good.
Right.
And that's because you started it. And
bullied-
you've got more than you bargained for.
No, if I thought I was going to get through to you straight away, I'd have known I was going to get a mouthful. I'd hardly ring up to call you an intellectual pygmy and expect you to take it, would I?
Now, I'm going to let you go now, but I'm telling you this, you've got a lot of work to do. Because you're a
Well,
deeply flawed individual. And I don't like you, and I don't think many people do like you.
Well, I doubt if many people listen to your show like me, because most of them adore you. So obviously they're not going to like me. And obviously I didn't ring up expecting you to go, oh yes, you're right, I am an intellectual being. I expected you to argue. And you've bothered to do it for nearly 20 minutes now, so it must have touched a nerve with you, mustn't it? Because I'm just filling the time driving up to East Midlands. You're filling in you're entertaining half the country.
Yes, correct. I am.
I'm just doing this to entertain myself.
Yes.
And fill in the time. But you've bothered to spend 20 minutes arguing with me, so perhaps I touched a raw nerve with you.
I don't think you touched a raw nerve with me. I thought you might be almost my equal.
Oh, no, come on, you never thought that.
Oh, yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Don't bullshit me. You
I'm
don't
not
think
bullshitting
anybody's
you.
your equal.
I've met 2 people who are better than me.
Oh, there's nothing more than that around. Don't be so modest.
Well, I've never met them, that's the truth.
No, you see, you're very good, though, because you've...
I know, I am very good. I'm actually, shall I tell you what I am?
What?
I am absolutely unique in broadcasting.
I'll say that again.
There's never been one like me, but there will be plenty more like me, taken from those who listen and understand what it is I do. Now, if you want a show where somebody is going to interview a succession of jaded politicians, asking them dull and obvious questions, And
No, but you have a lot of dull and obvious.
Can I just finish? Because I know where you're.
Yeah, go on.
I know where you're sort of. I know what you're one of those conventional people.
I'm very conventional. I agree with that.
Very conventional, aren't you?
Yeah.
And the minute you get a whiff of somebody doing anything remotely unconventional, it offends you a bit.
No, I wouldn't say offend. That's the right word.
But it worries you. Makes you a bit cross.
I find it. I find, you know, when you're searching the airwaves for something to listen to, some of the trivia that you go through. I mean, some of the stuff you were doing.
What is trivia?
Well, it's irrelevant. But then again, it's,
well, can I just ask you about that? I mean, what is trivia? What is trivia exactly?
Well, it's a subjective thing, isn't it? Trivia to one person.
Where does it hail from? What's the origin of trivia?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, you see, you mustn't go using concepts, particularly to condemn, when you're quite ignorant of the concept.
Tommy, I just backed up a bit then. I just said to you that trivia is something that's irrelevant. And of course, it's
well, you see, it isn't.
What's relevant
no, darling, Petal, that is not what trivia is.
What is trivia then?
Okay. The Greeks, who we owe a great deal to for our education system, had 7 subjects on their curriculum. The 4 sciences, I bet you got physics, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 4 sciences and the 3 creative subjects, the arts.
Yeah.
The Greeks decided that the 4 sciences, I bet you got chemistry as well, didn't you?
No, well, O-level, yeah.
Yeah. The Greeks decided that the 4 sciences were more important than the 3 arts.
Yeah.
The 4 sciences were called the...
Sorry, is that a question you're asking me?
Just wondered if you were clever enough to make the connection.
Well, I haven't studied Greek.
No. The 4 sciences were called the quadria.
Yeah.
And the 3 arts were called the...
The trivia.
Good boy.
So are we talking about the Greek meaning of the word trivia or the modern meaning of the word?
Oh, I just get it right, pal.
Well, I was talking about, I mean, I don't think if you go in the dictionary, you might go into an encyclopedia and find a great long drawn out...
Yes, but you're guessing here.
Trivia.
You're guessing.
But I think you'll find that most dictionaries will describe...
Yes, but you're saying, I think you'll find, and when we're flying at 35,000 feet, we don't want to know that the pilot thinks you might find.
Well, the pilot knows that most people...
Fine, and I know that trivia doesn't mean what you think it means, so don't use a concept you don't understand to condemn somebody who knows what the concept is.
When we finish, get a few other people to ring in and tell you what they think trivia
How do I do that? Do I say things like, give me a call now if you'd like to talk...
Say what you think trivia means.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not?
Why not? Because it's not interesting, pal, like you.
Well, for somebody who's uninteresting, I've occupied a lot of your airtime.
No, you haven't. I have.
Yeah, blowing hard like you always do, I guess.
It's not the tennis ball that people come to watch.
What is it then?
It's the player.
The player. And you're playing with yourself, are you? I didn't mean that, actually. I meant you're playing...
Oh, you had a little panic then, didn't you?
I suddenly realised what I'd said. I didn't mean to say that.
See, look at you warming up now. You think to yourself, he's not such a bad guy, is he? Listen, now what you do now, you've driven about, 30 miles.
Yeah.
I've been a pilot, it's probably more like 45.
Oh, I don't speed. I've got too many speeding tickets already.
Just see whether you tune back into Edwina Curry now you can. Bye-bye. That was quite good fun, actually. I quite enjoyed that. He wasn't bad. He came round a little bit. But I wouldn't like to be in the air with him.
No.
What was he... What, do you know what it is, I reckon? He's cross because he's got to go to work tonight.
Yeah, possibly.
That's my judgment.
Certainly if you're doing something like a charter flight with those kind of people.
And he'd rather be, you know...
Concorde.
He'd rather be long haul to JFK, obviously. But, because I get that. Do you get that when you're coming out on a Sunday night to work? Because I'll be quite honest with you, I set off about 7:30.
Yep.
And I'll be quite honest with you, from about 6:30, I say to my family, don't bother me. I'm going to have a bath, and I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to go off, all right? But, you know, I'd rather be here with you. Because I would.
I'm either
That's the truth of the matter.
I'm either doing 15 things in half an hour, trying to get things done, or, like you, I'm just sitting there listening to the radio, not wanting to do anything. And one in every 6, I think, I'm driving up the A3, and one in every 6, I'm thinking, I really don't want to be here tonight. And yet I come in here, and it all goes.
Yeah. Oh, once I'm here,
It's fine.
It's great, but there's that moment about, I'm just about half an hour short of setting off. I only need one of the boys to come up to me and say something like, Dad, can we go on the ISDN computer? And for some reason, I'll think to myself, that's not fair. They're going to mess about on the computer, and I've got a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I have to really, really, really watch myself so I don't, bite their heads off. But anyway, going back to Blokey there, Blokey is very, very gnarled up because he's got to go off and fly a grotty plane tonight. If he is a pilot, I don't know.
Gave the air of being a pilot.
More like cabin crew. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
He's a pilot?
There was a bit of superciliousness in his voice, which gave it sort of that air of being a pilot. No detriment to him, just he had that... He came across as...
Because I'm a pilot as well,
Yeah, you're a light aircraft pilot?
Light aircraft, helicopters.
Yeah.
Trained on Tridents for BEA. But that's how I knew he had physics. But 08700 40 50 60 is the number, or you can email the show by going to our website, which is talksport.net. Click on the button that says email the show. You may not believe this, but the RC pilot is still there. Not only is he still listening, just as I said he would be, but he's actually still got his phone line open. And we've just been listening inside his car, because we can do that. If he's listening to us, we can listen to him, harumphing his way through a bunch of...
I was just listening to him coming down the ISDN, down the line.
He's gone now, he's just jumped off the switch.
It was when you said that... Was it RC you said?
Yeah.
That RC pilot is still listening. He realised the phone was still on. It's that kind of... You're sitting there in front of the television thinking... And then suddenly you realise that you put on water to do an egg half hour ago, and you go in the kitchen and it's all steamed up.
Totally. Look, if you can hear us, we can hear you.
Exactly, exactly. Even when you don't think we can hear you.
All right, pilot features.
I've opened just one of the fresh newspapers. We get the newspapers in about midnight here.
Yes.
Just open up one of them, having a quick flick through.
They seem to have sort of like a problem with him, in my opinion. They don't seem to... It's like they want him to get knocked out. Everything seems to be...
I wouldn't worry about it if I was you, really. I wouldn't worry about it. There must be more important things to worry about than Greg Rosetsky's treatment by the sports press. Surely. Surely to goodness.
Yeah, but not only that, it's the fans as well. We don't seem to be... I think we have a problem with him when he...
Who's we? You keep referring to this we.
Me.
Can you exclude me from your we?
Sorry about that.
Can you exclude all my listeners from the we?
Sorry, me.
Ah, you.
Yeah, me, yeah.
But it feels so much better to say we, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just... Yeah, so
I mean, Churchill did that, didn't he? We will fight them on the beaches. Well, he would have done.
Well,
but as Spike Milligan said, what's all this we?
Yeah, well, can we sort of keep it to what I was talking about?
No. I'm more fascinated by this love that we have of believing that whatever you think...
Can I just give you my opinion on why I think...
is what everybody else thinks.
Can I just give you my opinion on why...
Our airline charter pilot chappie, that was him. He thought that if he thought something...
You like him, don't you?
Everybody else must think it.
Oh, you liked him, really. I think there was something you saw in him, you liked him. I don't know what it was, but...
I prefer David Beckham.
Yeah. Well, can I just give you my opinion on why? Or don't
Spike Milligan said, he listened into the radio, and Chamberlain said, I have had no such undertaking from Herr Hitler, so therefore, as of 11 o'clock this morning, we are at war with Germany. And Milligan said, what does he mean, we?
So are you talking to me now, or are you just talking to yourself?
Just trying to keep things ticking over, pal.
So you're not really interested in my opinion? Really, or you're not really interested in what I was talking about?
I don't think you should be that bothered, really. I really think it's unhealthy to care too much about Greg Rosetsky. He's a millionaire. He doesn't need you worrying about him.
Yeah, I realise that. But I just...
So why bother about it?
Why do we sort of like support Tim Henman and not Greg Rosetsky? Because he's representing...
Well, I don't know if it's true. And who cares?
Well, I feel that his...
Who cares?
I do.
Why?
Why do I care?
Yeah. Why bother?
Because, just because, we've got to support both of them.
Who's we? And
me.
Where's this Godder business come from? Who made you do anything?
Why do we support Tim Henman and not Greg Rosetsky then?
Who's we? You.
Me, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do not know what you're talking about. Whenever anybody
me.
says you know what I mean, I always know that they either can't express themselves or haven't thought through what they're trying to say.
I'm trying to, but you won't let me, Tommy. I'm trying to, but you won't let me. Hello? Are you still there?
You don't know what you're on about, do you?
I do.
No, you don't.
I don't. Can I just give you my opinion on why I think we...
Well, if that's what you rang up to say, I have an opinion about this, then say it.
I did say more.
No, you didn't. You kept asking. You kept going, why do we, as though you wanted me to tell you.
Right,
and I don't care.
Right, so that's a waste of time then, isn't it, Billy?
Well, I don't. You can say. I'm thinking...
But if you don't care, then I'm wasting my time, really.
Well, you don't expect me to care about whether or not the British press support Greg Rosetsky. How... Well, no. That takes your eye right off the ball. I mean, life is to be lived.
Why do we sort of like... He must feel sort of like...
Who's we again?
I didn't say we, did I?
Yes, you did. You said we. It's definitely your word.
He.
No, you said we.
I said he must feel like why did he sort of like come and want to represent... He must feel like he wants to go back to Canada.
Look, I'm not going to psychoanalyse you, but you want to be liked by everybody, don't you? And you're worried that Greg Rosetsky doesn't like some British people because apparently we haven't been supporting him as much as Tim Henman. Well, don't worry about it. No, I just feel it's
hard to away from Tim Henman.
Well, it's very interesting. Don't lie awake worrying about it, though. For God's sake, please, promise me that, whatever you do, that you will not actually spend much more of your life thinking about this. I mean, it's very unhealthy that somebody should have thought something like that out so carefully. Especially when the conclusion is so seriously flawed and based on so many assumptions and so many misconceptions. It's definitely time, young man, to look at your diet. Have you eaten many fresh vegetables today? When was the last time you ate a good piece of fruit and some fibre-rich oat cakes? And drink more water during the afternoon. Did you hear the pilot then?
Yes,
he was.
That's
great.
where I was. Very good.
He was
very good indeed.
Must have. You got the nub of it. He'd rung up to complain about the format of the show, which he claimed he understood, but he began his call by thinking he was talking to a phone operator and saying, I'd like to go on air and tell the presenter that the format of this show is appalling. But he's already on the air doing it. So he's complaining about a format which he clearly doesn't understand. So I got him right from the start. I've got him. I mean, it is the most dumb mistake anybody could possibly make. You know, you're kebab, you're dead. But you don't tell someone that straight away. You know, you give them enough rope to completely and utterly garrot themselves, which he went on to do. Bless his cottons. Loved it.
He'll be listening now in the...
Oh, we know that. And is that not why is that in the Mondeo? And he went, when I said, you know, you're driving along there in your Mondeo, he went, ha, Mondeo.
You could hear he was.
Yeah, he was angry.
Very angry. He was off to fly a plane in that state.
I think there should be some kind of a anger test. You know, you should be in a decent emotional state.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy cut me up on the Robin Hood roundabout on Friday night, and he was livid. He was weaving and tooting his horn and flashing his lights and weaving in and out of a...
Road outrageous.
Yeah. 08700 40 50 60. 1,000 cash. Calling line 5, you're live on Talksport. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Tommy.
Hey.
Yeah. About a week ago, I was at work, and one of my friends at work was leaving to have a baby, and she'd been sent some cards, and there was some brilliant piece of observation on one of the cards that somebody had sent her. It's probably meant to be a little bit of a joke, but he sent a black and white photograph of like a young girl walking across a garden party, and it said some mothering tips, and on the first one it said, be prepared to sprint onto a beach. And the third one, I don't remember the second one, but it said, never grow up. And it's a brilliant piece, I thought, of observation, because children, and also it goes all the way through your life, you always want to sprint onto a beach. Have you ever? Does that ever go, Tommy? That feeling?
Oh,
for you?
Absolutely.
And like, I remember taking my granddad when he was about 80 to the beach because he asked me to take him, and you know, he was
all right, fella. Okay, go on, go with it. You.
He was very close to death, Tom, and he asked me to take him.
Go on, fella.
And he actually, I tell you, he sprinted on there, Tommy, and he told me that he felt 6 years old again.
Ah, mustard. Oh, fella.
So, is that like a brilliant piece of observation, Tommy?
Yeah,
Like, from that, I mean, when you go, you know, when you was like in that, I don't know, A40 when you were young, isn't that the same every time when you go past the gaps in the houses, Tommy, and you see the sea?
Yeah.
And, you know, the anticipation starts building up. Well, that I don't think that ever goes, does it? It can't ever go.
No.
If I know you live near the coast, Tom, and, you know, is it the same for you every time?
Oh, yeah. The sea always does that to everybody. My wife, the reason I put up with a 180-mile round trip every time I come into work is because my wife needs to be near the sea. It just does things. It just keeps her sane, or whatever passes for sane in the case of my wife.
And I'll tell you another, like, this is, like, I suppose, on the flag of the wonderful hour again, isn't it? We're getting back to that. But I saw something wonderful in Brighton, Tommy, a few weeks ago. It was a tramp, and, you know, and often I'll think about the wonderful hour, and I try to imagine what can be wonderful about this situation. And he was like, you know, classical filthy dirty with a beard. But as he looked at me, Tommy, he had these beautiful blue eyes, because they always, you know, obviously keep themselves clean. You couldn't hide that, and that was the wonderful thing about him.
Nice one.
Anyway, Tom,
nice one.
Nice to speak to you, mate.
All right, I've enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for your emotion.
All right.
Thank you for your love. Decent man. What a decent man. There's a decent man. There's the sort of people we don't get, them coming forward saying, would you like me to run the country? Well, the country, I mean, Tony Blair, I think, is a very decent man, but we don't have enough normality, you know, and what's normal is men being able to express, everybody, but women are much better at it than most men, being able to express emotions like that. And that was grand. And that's, it's changed everything, and it will change until the next call, I reckon. That's how it works. 08700 40 50 60.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.